I'm Gary Valdez with Hample Oil Distributors in Wichita, Kansas, and we're at Holmes Trucking in Park City, Kansas. We're looking at a 2003 International 9200 Class 8 truck. As you can see, they run super singles here. This truck has had Mobile 1300, 1540 in its entire life here at Holmes Trucking. It has a Cummins dual overhead cam, ISX 15-liter engine. It's all marked right there. Had a catastrophic failure. We're going to do a failure analysis on it. They sheared a wrist pin in half. It has 1.1 million miles on it. This is the valve cover. This valve cover has been washed. But as you can see, there's no sludge inside this valve cover or any varnish. This is the suction tube for the oil pump. It has just been wiped down. It hasn't been cleaned with a hot soaper. No varnish anywhere, no sludge anywhere on this. Outstanding engine oil performance on that suction tube. Here's the oil pan. Now this oil pan has, they did put a hot soaper on it, but you can't get varnish off with a hot soaper. So there's no sludge, no varnish. It cleaned up really good. That's a tray that goes in the top of the engine. A lot of times there will be varnish on top of them when the engine oil is about to give up. This truck, they were running 15,000 mile oil drain intervals on it the whole time they've had it. It's loaded 70% of the time. It pulls a grain trailer only. They can run 85,500 pounds total gross weight with this tractor. Now we're going to move over here and look at the pistons, liners, and we'll show the ultimate failure of the piece of equipment. These are the liners that came out of it. Hopefully we can get a good picture of that. You can still see cross hatching in the liners. They are worn after 1.1 million miles. That's good performance. This is where we had the catastrophic failure right here. This wrist pin, there's a whole one right there. This was twisted in half. So the catastrophic failure had a bearing misalignment issue here. This bearing turned, starved this connecting rod, wrist pin for lubricant, and then twisted this wrist pin in half. It's hard to understand the forces that took place to twist this in half. Took this piece of metal, twisted it like a big piece of licorice. Here's main bearings, rod bearings all over. They look outstanding for 1.1 million miles. Here's something I wanted everybody to see. All the rings are loose in their ring grooves. Again, everything is as it should be. No sludge or varnish under the crown land area. There's oil on it, but you can see the light, John. No varnish on the skirt. Usually these side skirts will carry a lot of varnish if there's some liner scuffing going on there, but no varnish for the engine oil breaking down. Now we want to move over, shoot a picture, John, of the cross hatching in those liners, and then we'll compare it to the new liners that they just put in the truck. We're going to walk around the truck. This engine has two cams in it. It has a cam that drives the fuel injector system and a cam that drives the valves. Outstanding performance by the coolant. No electrolysis, no pitting on the outside of the liner. These look great for what they've been through. Okay, they already pressed the new liners in this truck. John, be careful and climb up there if you can. There's a cross-hatching comparison between, get you another light, between the old liner and the new liner. Some difference. Once the wrist pin broke in half, it got into the side of the cylinder liner. Of course, it scored it badly, causing catastrophic failure of the engine. Let's come over and look at the two cams. This is the cam that runs the valve train. This is the cam that runs the injectors. They're actually going to reinstall the cam that runs the injectors back in the piece of equipment. They are going to buy a new cam for the valves. This engine has 4 valves per cylinder. Oh, you're not going to put that back in? No.
Yeah, we're reusing the cams.
We're reusing both cams?
Yes.
Okay, they're going to reuse both cams.
They only have...
Talk loud, Sammy.
This is the only place where there's wear is on that lobe right there. And this lobe here. It's the only place where there's wear is right there, those two places.
And that's very minor.
Very minor.
The journals all look great.
Okay, that's our teardown engine oil performance. Cummins ISX 15-liter engine. Holmes Trucking, Park City, Kansas. Thank you for watching.